Good afternoon. Ayan. Start na ba tayo? Ay, rekta na tayo, di ba? Okay. Good afternoon, Malayans, and welcome to today's Foundation Week's webinar entitled Salute to Learner-Centered OBE with a theme, Malayan at 16, All Hands on Deck. I am Arnie Zurita, a third-year BA Communications student.
And I am Angel Rose Camiselia, also a third year BA Communication student, and we will be your hosts this afternoon.
Ayan, good afternoon, Angel.
Good afternoon, Arnie. You know what? I'm very excited for today's webinar because we have invited some of our successful alumni from different colleges, and they are given the chance to share their insights on how MCL has helped them attain the success that they currently have.
Ayan, that's right. And from what I know, may mga ate at kuya tayo from many
Yes.
different kinds of departments ready to share their experiences. Ako, wala pa ako masyadong may share the experience. Baka,
Oo nga
maybe
eh.
someday. Someday,
Oo.
baka pag nag-graduate na ako. Now, guys, we also encourage our live audience, now especially our mages and wizards, to ask questions through the comment section, and our guests might be able to answer those in a few.
That's right. And this week, sobrang busy ng organization natin sa pagpe-prepare ng mga activities for our students. Sobrang fun nung mga pin-prepare nila.
Yes,
Busy
a lot of my classmates are sharing their na oy sumali ako dito, sumali ako diyan, and
Oo.
we are there to support so syempre, 'di
That's
ba?
right. Pero dahil ito ang last day ng ating foundation week, we want to make sure that we're gonna help our students decide what will be the career path they're gonna choose in the future. Especially may mga pieces of advice silang makukuha sa ating mga speakers today. And speaking of speakers, I'd like to introduce each one of them. We have 5 speakers today, Arnie.
Uy, dami ah.
Dami, oo. And that's from each colleges. We have the first speaker, Mr. Lawrence Angelo Makawile. He's from College of Computer and Information Science, and he took BS Information Systems and graduated in 2019. And you know what? Right now, he's a project manager who monitors
Uy.
plans and checks the status of a development team. Sobrang ganda ng work niyan.
Oo, malakas na agad manager ang position
Oo.
niya. From what company? Nasabi ba kung anong company siya nag-work?
Yes. Ang current employer ng ating speaker ay Prosperna Incorporated.
Okay. Parang mabigatin
Sobrang
na.
bigatin, no? Oo. Sana sa future tayo ganun din, no? Kasi marami ding students sa mga ka-benefit sa webinar na to dahil may mga students gaya ko na hindi pa decided kung ano yung career path na tatahakin. So, very helpful tong webinar natin.
I truly
And
same.
Second speaker.
Now for
alternate
tayo. Ayan, thank you so much to Mr. Lawrence Angelo Makawile for your advice and insights para sa ating mga CCIS wizards. Sana may matutunan kayo. Stay in tune for later since we will have a live interview with our speakers later. So
yes,
hang on tight. Now for our second speaker, Angel, is from the engineering department. Well, the CMET to be specific. He graduated on 2013 and graduated with a program of BS Marine Engineering, and currently employed dito sa MCL. He is
MCL. Wow.
Yes. He's working here in MCL as an instructor and faculty member of the CMET department in, of course, Malayan Colleges, Laguna. Now, without further ado, I would like to call in for our second speaker, second engineer, Louis Andrew Tividad.
Okay. Question pala, Arnie.
Good day, everybody. I am Engineer Louis Andrew Tividad, a graduate of Malayan Colleges, Laguna, under the College of Maritime Education and Training, and I am a marine engineer. I am working with Finlines PLC as a second engineer, but currently I'm on vacation, so I grabbed the opportunity to be part of MCL as part-time instructor for marine engineering students. So, how did I start my seafaring career? I started my career back 2008 when I first entered MCL as a first-year marine engineering cadet. And I can proudly say that I am part of the first batch of maritime students in MCL. I got to MCL through a scholarship grant from my previous employer, Wallenius Marine AP. At first, I really didn't want to become a seafarer. O kumbaga nga ayoko mag-OFW. But because of the promising salary that can help my family financially, I grabbed the opportunity. I just started to like my seafaring career after my first onboard training or yung OJT kung tawagin. And I was only 18 that time when I got on my first ship. Back at MCL, I was not a top-notch student that may some of you might think of because I have a scholarship grant. But I'm just your average type of student. There were times that I had failed courses and got my scholarship grant suspended. But I bounced back and graduated, then took my licensure exam and passed it. Right there, I realized that even though you have many mistakes and failures in life, if you focus yourself on your goals, you will definitely succeed. But after graduating and getting a stable job, I thought I will be stuck as the lowest ship engineer because of my anxiety and fear of bigger responsibilities. But to get through this, I worked myself up by gaining more work experience until I got that self-confidence I needed to take more and bigger responsibilities. And here I am now, a management level marine engineer, and soon a chief engineer, which is the head of the engine department of a ship. As for my teaching career, I first taught at MCL back 2014. It was very sudden, for I was just contacted by my colleague to replace him on one of his courses he was handling that time. At that point, I really don't know what to do or how to teach students. But still, I grabbed the opportunity. But as years goes by, and with the help of some trainings, I learned how to deliver to the students the knowledge and information they need. It is just like my former professor always tells us. Learning is a never-ending process. Who would have thought that I would be on the academic industry, teaching and sharing? But I learned this from our former dean. The best way to retain one's knowledge is by sharing it. And lastly, if you are in doubt of yourself, just remember these lines from the Malayan hymn. Do your very best with excellence and virtue. Stand to the test and to the limits we push on. And that is all for me, and hope to see you future marine engineers. Thank you.
Wow, that's very insightful, no? Ang ganda nung
Mm-mm.
ano niyan. Parang roller coaster yung ride ng ating speaker.
Up and down. Kung saan na si Sir pumunta. And he's still,
Right.
he's still on the go on what
Right.
he's doing. Diba? For our CMET students, siguro nga naging profi na yan si Sir. Tinuturuan kayo and he has given you guys knowledge on, being a good seafarer nga, diba?
Tama. Tsaka bukod pa doon, yung mga binigay niyang payo ay base sa mga personal experiences niya na ibig sabihin kahit hindi ka pa decided kung ano yung career path, you just have to go with the flow, right? Lalo yung
Mm-mm.
mga students natin ngayon. And
Mm-mm.
earlier we had a little technical difficulty where we weren't able to play the speaker number one's video. So I'd like to again introduce Mr. Lawrence Angelo or Angelo Macavile.
Good day, Malayans. I hope everyone is doing well and good in this time of pandemic. And I hope we are doing our best to stay healthy and not to contract any sickness at this moment. Again, let me introduce myself to you. I'm Lawrence Angelo Macawile. I'm an information system graduate, batch of 2019. Before I start, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our alma mater for inviting me and also congratulating them or congratulating you for celebrating your 16th year as a university or a college here in the Philippines. It's always a pleasure to give back to our alma mater in small ways, especially this sharing and talking to the students of MCL. Also, big shoutouts to the CCI Student Council for contacting me. Wala na ata silang ibang choice kaya ako na lang yung message nila or maybe kilala ko lang talaga yung CCI Student Council ngayon kaya ako na lang yung message nila. Pero anyway, joke lang, no? Joke lang. Anyway, I would also like to thank the CCIS faculty for all the learnings, experiences, and the opportunity that they have offered for me when I was a student. Just to give a brief background, di naman talaga ako homegrown Malayan student, no? Meaning, I was a transferee from another school. I transferred here in MCL for a number of reasons. Number one, because ang hirap bumiyahe from Laguna to Manila. Number two, yung learnings hindi na nai-instill sa akin because of the tiredness of traveling back and forth. And also, medyo nagkaroon akong problema nung studies ko back then. Kaya, I decided to transfer. So, and when I transferred, I had to repeat to as a second year student. Since nung ni-review namin yung subjects from TUP and MCL, hindi siya ganun ka-aligned. So, I had to, step back to take one step back into my studies. To be honest, hindi naman madaling maging transferee, no? Because in a way, I'm starting from scratch. Yes, I do have friends here, mga high school friends ko dito. I have some high school friends na dito sa MCL nag-aaral pero syempre ibang college naman sila. We had to take different courses. So medyo mahirap pa rin siya. So I had to get along with the new system because TRISEM, we all know na TRISEM sa Malayan, then sa iba naman BISEM lang or 2 SEMs lang in one school year. I also had to get along with new profs, new friends, and also to the new environment of MCL. So, siguro it took me around 1 to 2 SEMs bago ako naka-adapt talaga sa lahat. And also back then, medyo na-stereotype ko pa yung MCL because sister school nga siya ng Mapua. So, we all know, matik, mahirap talaga. Or hindi talaga siya ganun kadali. And from there, alam ko na agad na it would not be an easy ride. Maliban sa yung program ko, hindi naman talaga siya ganun kadali or even any other programs, I know it would not that easy. So, just to share it with you, it transcribed dun sa studies ko or it affected my studies yung pagiging transfer ko because may baksak ako agad nung first sem ko here in Malayan. Pero definitely, I overcome it as years go by. Hindi naman na siya naulit in a way. So, also being part of CCIS is not that easy. Well, to think, wala naman talagang madaling college or department here in Malayan because we all have our challenges and hardships. May added pressure lang with the CCIS because of the population, especially our program. So, hindi talaga pwedeng bumaksak na since we will have to wait dun sa mga first batch of graduates ng senior high. So, mahihirapan na kami or lalo pa kaming madedelay if we would fail. I remember when I entered here in Malayan, the number of IS students, it was around 10 to 11 lang ata. Kasama na ako dun. So, alam or kita mo na agad na you don't have any room for failure. Then as years go by, paunti na lang kami ng paunti. Parang, or as terms goes by, parang paunti na lang din kami ng paunti. Like, first sem ko yun nga, 10 to 11. And the following sem, parang 9 na lang. Following sem, 7, tas 5, up until nung last 2 to 1 year ata. Parang last 2 years, parang tatlo na lang kami. So, imagine sobrang hirap din nun na tatlo lang kayo in a room, four including the professor sa isang course or sa isang subject. Mahirap talaga yon, medyo nakakasawa in a way, pero nasanay na lang kami. So kumbaga wala kaming no choice into selecting any teammates in activities or even with our thesis back then. Wala kaming no choice kundi kaming tatlo lang. Pero yeah, we overcome it. So graduate naman kami, na lagpasan naman namin yung hardships na yun, and we're proud of it kasi di talaga madali na tatlo lang kayo sa isang course in general. Transferring here in MCL, I would consider it as one of my greatest decision because of the education system. Sobrang laking tulong nung OBE as main factor of learning, because in a way it gave me the first hand experience of being a professional. Kasi naman we all know in the real life or in the real world, in the professional world, corporate world, kung ano man ang gusto nyo itawag doon, uh, hindi pwede yung basta papasok ka lang, papakita ka lang sa prof or papakita ka lang sa boss mo, sa teammates mo, then okay na, wala na. Tatambay ka na lang or whatsoever. But at the end of the day, you really need to give outputs to your company, to your boss, to your teammates, to your leader, because you're part of that, and the achievement of that company is also your achievement. So kumbaga, align kayo in all aspect dapat, na you have this goal and you want to achieve that. So it's parang it's a proud moment for you if you achieve that and you're part of that achievement. So very grateful ako with the OBE because it basically gave me an edge to others, because of OBE is not being practiced naman sa lahat ng schools here in the Philippines. So it gave me an edge na alam kong I really need to give outputs to the bosses. And also it gave me an edge nung nag-apply ako, because it's one of the main factor na lagi kong sinasabi in applying job, na we are practicing OBE, I know how to give outputs, etc. and etc. So, yun, sobrang laking factor ng OBE sa akin, and it helped me a lot to achieve yung position that I have right now in my company. So, overall, MCL taught me to take life one step at a time. Since, yun nga, I really need to make sure na hindi na ako babaksak in every term, na I would not fail again, and syempre the goal of that is to graduate as soon as I can or as fast as I can, because of nag-repeat na ako ng second year ko. And also MCL taught me to really celebrate small achievements in life. Example nun, yung ma-all blue mo lang yung isang ma-all blue mo lang yung isang term, masaya ka na, or masaya na ako noon. I remember parang bago mag-holiday season or mag-holiday break, Christmas break, talagang I need to parang stretch myself. Parang up until the last day nung term na yun, nandun ako sa school. Nasa school ako just to, pass all of my subject or to accomplish everything. So, nung pag-uwi ko, I checked the grade. So, yun, all blue. So, I had to scream myself out or out of nung sa bahay, and everyone was parang shocked. Ba't ako sumisigaw? Parang sinisigaw pa noon, yes, all blue ako, all blue ako. Parang, diba, it's a way for me to be thankful and at the same time proud of myself. And also, kayo din, I know, masaya kayo kapag nakaka-all blue kayo and proud kayo sa sarili nyo, because you can move forward with the curriculum or you can move forward with your studies. To the students, my message to you is don't fast forward life. Cherish every moment of being a student, kasi when you graduate, iba na rin siya. It's a different experience, it's a different situation, and definitely it's a different moment for you to cherish. I know medyo mahirap lang because of the pandemic that we are in. Alam ko pare-pares tayong nawawalan ng drive, nawawalan tayo ng motivation in a way, but it shall pass. It shall pass. It shall pass. we just need to find way to express ourselves. Maybe that would be into music, that would be into drawing, art, kung ano man, baking. Marami sa ating natutong mag-bake. Dalgona coffee, pwede din kung gusto niyo ulit gumawa, 'di ba? So definitely we can find ways into expressing ourselves with our frustration, our disappointments, and also whatever that we are, battling within ourselves. I know some of you wasn't able to really go around and experience MCL physically, because of the pandemic. We all know that we are online now. Kahit ako, yung work ko, work from home. So, medyo different, different experience siya. Mas sanay tayo with the face to face because we can really share moments with our friends. Pwede tayong lumabas. Pwede tayong mag-express sa labas. We can go as long as we want, 'di ba? Or we can go out as long as we want. So now medyo mahirap siya, but definitely be proud of yourself that you are part of this institution. Alam naman natin na MCL is one of the best school here in South. So be proud of you na part kayo nito. And alam ko you would not think of that way. Either me, when I was a student, sabi ko sa sarili ko, baka hindi na ako babalik ng MCL because ang hirap or hindi maganda yung naging experience ko and all of that. Pero definitely, nung graduate ako, nag-iba yung feeling. I know that when you graduate, you'll miss the feeling of being part of MCL or just being a student in general. Kasi wala ka masyadong iniisip. Isipin mo lang kung papasa ka ba or hindi. Or kailangan mo lang mag-review para pumasa. Something like that. In the real world, hindi. I think it's a different topic, pero definitely it's a different experience from being a student and also for being a professional. So be proud and be thankful of the things that you have, and be proud na nandito kayo sa MCL and you are experiencing that kind of hardship and challenges, kasi it will give you an edge and will also give you the tapang, the strength that you need to the corporate world or to the professional world. Again, thank you for having me here. Thank you for inviting me. I hope I was able to share, and at the same time, I hope you learned something from me as well. To MCL, I would like to greet all of you a happy 16th year. More power and more wonderful years ahead. We've come along. That's already 16 years, but definitely that's not only the goal. Alam natin na MCL will be here as long as they can, to help students to achieve goals and to achieve dreams in life. To the students and to all the audience, always remember to keep safe and have a healthy life. God bless and thank you.
Ayan.
Napaka-relatable na mga kwento na.
Oo. Nakakatuwa naman. Nakakatuwa yung experience niya. Just to share with you, Arnie, hindi ko alam kung alam mo na siya, but I'm a working student. Tapos, nag-stop ako sa Malayan talaga ako nag-start for 2 years. Ngayon. Tapos, I had to stop because of financial struggles. Tapos, I was planning to transfer to a different school kasi, syempre, alam naman natin yung tuition is also a challenge, right? Tapos, na-realize ko na yung education system sa Malayan is way better. Parang I wouldn't want to settle for less. Pero struggle din kasi noong 2015, face-to-face kami, tapos pagbalik ko, virtual classes na. So, medyo struggle siya. Pero I appreciate what he shared kasi at least na-motivate ako na, ay, kakayanin ko to. Right?
Ayun nga, welcome back nga pala sa Malayan. And na-relate ko talaga yung mga struggles yan na minsan nawawala ng motivation and yung mga hobbies, hindi ko na coffee. Diba? Yun, lahat nagawa ko na para lang makalipas na may magawa dito sa bahay. And of course, it's more on makaka-relate talaga yung mga transferees natin from other schools na decided to go to Malayan. Yeah, ayan, ang dami yung mapupulot from our speaker na si
Correct.
Kuya Lawrence, 'di ba? And if you guys have
Mm.
other questions for him, then dyan lang later, feel free to stay, and we are going to have live interview, 'di ba, with them. So,
Yes.
ayun.
Our panel discussion with our speakers today.
Mm-mm. So,
Sige.
ayun.
Pero if our live audience has any questions, they can post it sa comment section naman, no?
Of course, pwede yan. Now, for ikaw na mag-aano ng third speaker.
Ano ba?
Sa
Alternate
attorney.
ba? Tama ako pala. Okay, sige.
Attorney
So
nga.
for our third speaker, we have Miss Ariel Isabel Sacris. She's from ETU Chenko College of Business. And she took accounting technology and graduated fresh to last year lang, 2021. But you know what? She's currently working as a financial accounting and advisory services associate. So medyo ano din tong trabaho na to because she assists clients to address the accounting and financial reporting challenges facing their business. So kailangan talaga marami ka ding natutunan nung nag-aaral ka nung college, and I think she was able to apply it. And because of that, we'd like to present again Miss Ariel Isabel Sacris. This video.
Wala pa. Nga pala, wala pang video.
Wala
Ayan,
pa.
grabe. Ayan, thank you so much, Miss Ariel, for your speech. Siguro ang dami napulot ng ating mga ETYCB students from
Right.
her experiences. Sana if ever may question pa kayo, like kanina ko pang sinasabi, feel free to stay for a live interview with them. Now, with that, let's approach for our fourth speaker. Ay, wow, ang dami nating speakers. Now,
Oo
this
nga.
speaker, medyo bigaten. Why? Well, he graduated on 2017 with cum laude. He graduated from the program of civil engineering. So, mga MITL students dyan, ito na yung time nyo. Now, for his line of work, her line of work is wait, ang haba. Teka lang,
Oo nga.
basahin ko
Asa
lang.
naman?
Ang haba.
Ang dami. Wait lang. Oo nga na, wait lang. MS Civil Engineer major in Mapua. Mapua University?
She's getting
Tama
her
din ba?
master's. Ay, ano ba? Oh, master. She's getting her master's at the moment. Oh, she's still, okay. Oo nga,
Ano
bigatin
yung current niya?
Dami. Oo nga, ano yung current?
work niya? Kasi former Panay former yung work niya. No?
Siguro nag-work muna siya, then she took her master's.
Sige, ganunin mo na lang na transition. Banggitin mo na lang yung work experience kasi maganda yung ano yun.
Ayan, for our fourth speaker, ito na, for our MITL students, this is an engineering graduate in the program of civil engineering. She graduated on 2017 with, ano ba tawag dito? With cum laude. Natawag sa cum laude.
High honors ba yung tawag dyan?
Oo.
High honors ba yung tawag dyan?
Graduated with high honors cum laude.
Search na lang natin.
Yeah. She graduated with a cum laude and a silver medalist. Now, she has multiple work experiences as a former structural engineer at JGC Philippines and PA Properties. She is also a review instructor of various engineering review centers and educational institutes. Now, currently, she is taking her master's degree in civil engineering, a major in structural engineering in Mapua University. Yun, ang ating sister school. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce our fourth speaker, Engineer Jude Rosales.
Arnie, ano mo na lang, sabihin mo na siguro ano, Yung sa ko na, she graduated as cum laude, ganun.
Okay. Yun, mas
Ah,
better. She graduated as cum laude.
ayan. And ayan, ang ganda nung speech. At sino mag-aakala na yung engineering student, maraming achievements talaga na ganun kabigat? Kasi, to be honest, I did not really pursue engineering courses kasi sobrang, hindi talaga ako magaling sa math. At sa mga,
True.
kaya nag-communication. Pero, di ba, amazing yung kanyang experience.
Ang dami niyang napuntahang companies, ang dami niyang experience, and ayan na nga, she's going for her master's degree, 'di ba? So, more experiences, more to teach, 'di ba? And to share
Right.
to us maybe soon, 'di ba? Thank you so much for that,
Thank you.
engineer.
And we're down to our last speaker, Miss Eliana Therese Tagamulila, and she's part of College of Arts and Science. She actually graduated just last year, and she took BA Communication major in Political Communication. And right now, I think she has two employers. Nagtatrabaho siya for Grant Me Education Consultancy. She works as an essay editor that edits essays and scholarship applications of students who need scholarship and admission support. So, napakaganda ng work niya na to, helping students as well. And also,
Wow.
she works for Romero Business Management Consultancy, as someone who writes articles and manage content for the company's website to educate, spread information, and increase engagement. So I would like to hear more to this speaker or from this speaker. So let's introduce Ms. Eliana Therese Tagamulila.
Hi guys. First of all, I would just like to say thank you to the SSC for inviting me for this talk. And I'm here today to talk about what I went through in MCL, how I overcame it, and the lessons I learned. So first and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Ali Dagamulila. I graduated from the BA Communication program last 2021 as a magna cum laude, and I was part of Sinagaya.com and the Supreme Student Council. So first and foremost, I think that uh, the challenges that I faced in MCL that were the hardest for me can be classified into two. One is that as a student at MCL, we're expected to balance everything. So we're not just expected to excel academically, we're expected to have an active campus life, to participate in organization events, to participate and have volunteer activities, to join competitions if possible. And as a student, it kind of overloads sometimes as you have to perform satisfactorily and even exceed in all of this altogether. And then another one is me as a student leader. What I found hardest was having to forward and reach a compromise because as a student leader, you have to listen to the concerns of your students, of the concerns of the student body, your constituents, and bring it forward to the admin. So having to reach a compromise with the admin, finding common ground in a way that benefits the student body as well as benefits the admin was kind of a hard place to reach as a student leader while governing and while helping them throughout the transition to online classes. So how I overcame it was basically for the academics and having to balance everything, finding a group of friends and program mates. I was lucky enough to find program mates who were as enthusiastic with me in joining org events, volunteer events, in handling programs and stuff like that, while also not compromising the quality of our academic work. So we put in the time when needed and in just having each other as we studied, as we did all those late nights and everything. It was such a big help. And as for the challenge I faced with being a student leader, the one thing that I said to myself to be able to overcome it is that I as a student leader should remember that my duty is first and foremost to the constituents, to the student body. So I should first and foremost have their best interests at heart, and it is what I should forward and what I should fight for in making sure that their voices are heard, in making sure that the administration and the MCL, which they do, gives us a platform. And I am thankful that I was able, uh, that the MCL was able to give us that platform to listen to us when needed. And then In terms of how MCL helped me reach my dreams, I think that it's because they were able to help me mold me into becoming a professional. I am very grateful for the holistic education that they were able to give to me. So I was not just learning inside the classroom, I was learning through events, I was learning through organization work, I was learning through so many experiences that wasn't in just the four corners of the room. I was learning not just with my professors, but other student leaders who served as my mentors, the advisors of the organizations, people who led faculty and staff who led the events. It was all very humbling for me to be able to experience that and to learn from everyone in MCL. It gave me such a holistic foundation, and I am grateful for those opportunities because MCL provides their students opportunities even as we are just students. So it moves us to become professional, and it honestly helped me be more prepared when I came to the outside world, when I had to deal with work and I had to deal with prioritizing and socializing with other teams, other members of our company, and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I guess last would probably be me imparting the biggest life lessons I learned when I was in MCL. Mm, I would say that the biggest life lesson I learned in MCL would be that support systems are everything. Uh, I admit about I admit I really did have a busy life while in MCL. I was simultaneously the vice president for internal affairs of the Supreme Student Council while also being the president of our program's academic organization, which is sinaglaya.com. And I would not have been able to do that and still be on top of my academic responsibilities and still have good grades without a support system. So support system are everything, guys. I would recommend that early on here in MCL you find the people that you know are like-minded, that you know are a positive influence around you, and that you have fun with. You find nurturing people because surrounding yourself with like-minded people makes a difference. It makes a stressful hell week, like loaded with deadlines, loaded with everything. It turns something such as a hell week from a nightmare into something manageable and bearable. I won't say that a hell week gets easier with a support system because you still have the same deadlines, but it becomes manageable having people around you who are there to help you, not even to help like do your academics for you, just to listen to you, to share your sentiments, to be able to work with you. That's that's all right. That makes the difference. It makes a hell week manageable. It makes a hell week bearable. It makes all the difference. And then I guess one more life lesson I learned at MCL is to not hinder the quality of relationships you have with people. I've honestly met a lot of good people in my stay in MCL, and I think that they have contributed greatly to who I am. Uh, I honestly thank my mentors, the professors. There were a lot of professors that helped me so much with how I think, with how I solve problems, with how I approach. It, it helped me now in work with how I approach problems in the workplace and how to provide solutions. They helped me manage the risks. They helped me with my communication skills. They helped me with everything. So I would suggest that foster your relationships, not just with your friends, foster good relationships with your professors, foster relationships with mentors, because there is something that you can learn from all the people that are around you. So there, I'd like to once again thank the SSC for giving me this opportunity to talk in front of the student body once again. It's nice to come back to MCL. It's nice to remember your roots. I would like to take this opportunity as well to uh, wish everyone luck. I know it's in the middle of the online class setup and it's such a struggle mentally. It's draining. It takes twice the effort to stay focused on the academics, on the workload, and everything's taking a toll. There is no divide between school and home and social life and rest, and it's all just molded together. And I wish everyone well. I know that it's hard, and with this, I hope that there is still you still find the simple joys in life. I still hope and wish that you find one reason to laugh or smile every day. And I hope that it's enough to keep you happy and to keep you somehow sane during this pandemic. I'm excited for the face-to-face classes to resume, and yeah, I wish you luck and thank you, MCL. It's been a pleasure graduating from MCL and learning a lot from MCL.
Nice. Aw.
Ayan, with that, all of our speakers have shared their experiences and what they wanted to share to our listeners, to our watchers nga 'di ba? Those are some very insightful and encouraging as you can say um
Mhm.
alala nawala ako.
Okay lang yan, okay lang yan. And I totally
Ay,
agree. Kasi yun nga, and she was able to balance academics and also extracurricular activities na medyo mahirap talaga yun bilang student. And I agree with her dahil sa situation due to the pandemic, it's hard for us to separate social life tapos yung family natin kasi pag nasa bahay ka na expected na alam mo yun parang hindi mo na maihiwalay yung sarili mo sa school works and all that. So I appreciate the last advice that she gave us. Sobrang ano nun, motivating for students.
Minsan nakakalimutan mo kailangan mo na maging student din sa bahay and parang nawawala ka sa
Yes.
mindset na gano'n, 'di ba?
That's correct. Pero don't worry, we will get to know more about these our speakers today dahil we will proceed with our live panel discussion. So we will just do this round robin approach. So we will start with our first speaker. Okay, so anong mangyayari dito pala? Paano yung ano nun, live? Makikita ba natin sila dito ganyan? Hindi ko kasi alam. Okay. So, hintayin lang namin yung 5. Okay. So, for example, okay, so we're seeing the beautiful and handsome faces of our speakers today. Thank you so much po sa pag-accept nitong invitation namin for you guys to be the speakers. And we appreciate everything that you shared with us. Right, Arnie?
Ayan, so much. Ang dami ko kahit ako'y host dito, ako'y madaming natutunan sa inyong mga insights and thank you so much once again. Now, of course, to our listeners and our watchers, mostly watchers, if you guys have any questions sa ating mga speakers, if specific to somebody, feel free to put them in the comment section and our technical team will be happy to flash them in the screen for us to ask our speakers. Now, if habang wala pa tayong nakuhang questions sa kanila, ako actually may tanong ako sa lahat ng ating speakers. So, kung siguro gawin na lang nating round robin, para medyo maayos at orderly ang pagsagot ng tanong ko. So, let's start with, so ang question ko kasi is for at this point in time po, ano po yung advice para sa ating mga students na maibibigay nyo in terms of in terms of their productivity and like motivation amidst the ongoing pandemic. So ganun, habang ganun, iikot-ikot na ako sa kanila. Sige, thank
Start muna
you
kay
po.
Lawrence, sunod, ano yung sinod? Engineer Louis Andrew. Parang ganun na lang no yung kung sino yung nauna. Hanggang pala. Okay, sige. Okay, thank you. Tapos mag-adlib na lang tayo. Tapos after nun, okay, thank you. So thank you, Arnie, for asking that question. I'm pretty sure even us may nag-gain tayo from that and also our audience. Now, I also have a question for our speakers today, if it's okay. It is without a doubt how students nowadays are prone to academic burnout. Alam natin yan, even before face-to-face may
True.
academic burnout na. How much more
I can relate.
nowadays, right? So how do you think students can reignite their drive and passion amidst the ongoing pandemic? I think I'd like to hear it from Miss Aliana first. Aliana Therese. And tapos pabalik naman, pabaliktad.
Mm-mm.
Para naman
Sige.
Tapos
Okay,
after
sige.
nun, after na ano, ayun, ikaw naman view ng comment section.
Mm-mm. So yeah, may mga comment section, sa comment section may mga questions tayo for our speakers. Yan, blah, 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 wala po. Tapos na yung pagka-question. By the way, guys, kayo na po kayo na mag-cue sa amin kung kung last question na ba 'yan or what para alam na namin. Kayo na magsabi kung okay, yan na po yung last question. Okay, yan.
Mm-mm.
Ayan.
Okay, so I think
So,
yun na yun. Ano ba yung sunod?
So, ayun,
Paano natin malalaman? Tapos
kunyari-
na kayo ba? Oh.
on this part na with the comment section, siguro alternate na lang ulit tayo. I'll start. Then, ikaw naman, tapos ako, tapos gano'n. Tapos hanggang sila na magsabi na, okay, last question na to. Tapos, ayun. Okay, thank you so much. Tapos punta na tayo dun sa ending.
Okay. So again, sige, mag-ano na ako. Again, we'd like to thank our guest speakers today for taking the time and effort to share their knowledge, to share their experiences to our live audience and even to us, right, Arnie? And also to our live audience.
Ayan, thank you so much din sa ating live audience for participating in this webinar. Sana madami kayong napulot as wizards and mages and maybe even aspiring wizards and mages on wanting to be part of our community here in Malian Colleges, Laguna. Now, guys, I am sad to say that we have to conclude this webinar. Pero guys, huwag kayong mag-alala, hindi pa tapos ang Foundation Week because later we will have our Foundation Night event. Now, for further information, please follow our Facebook page, our Malian Colleges Laguna Facebook page for further information. And without further ado, once again, I am Arnie Zurita, a third-year BA Communications student.
And I am Angel Rose Comisilia, third-year BA Communication student. And ano yung last natin statement? And thank you again for... Ano ba?
And thank you again for being part of this webinar. Stay safe and have a nice day.
Yun na lang.
Siguro.
Thank you again for being part of this webinar. Stay safe, everyone. Ganun na lang.
Ayun.
Okay.
And
sige.
ayan. Hi guys. Lagay ko na yung mga parts na yun dito sa screen.
Thank you.
So far, so good naman eh. Do you guys have anything ba na may papa-add?
Okay naman po. Yung sa introduction po ng speaker, hindi nyo po babanggitin yung...
Hala.
Hindi nyo po babanggitin yung yung kunyari kayo sa CAS, yung naging executive director siya ng sinaglaya.com, mga ganun po.
Yung mga nung nasa school.
Oo. Pwede naman,
Kasi-
gawin na lang namin. Kasi parang nahabaan lang kasi ako kaya hindi ko siya nilagay dun sa script.
Oo.
Pero
Sige.
Sige,
Pero okay
i-add ko na
naman
lang
po.
namin yung kanilang
Ngayon.
orgs and recognitions nung nasa school pa sila. Sige. Add ko na lang po yarn.
Ano pa ba?
Di ko naano ko
Kayo ba,
dito
Wes
kay
and Pat? May concern ba kayo?
Miss Ariel.
Ako
Dalawa
wala.
Ay, dalawa po yung company niya or ano to? SGVN ko tapos Ernest and Young.
Baka po, follow up ko na lang din po dun sa nag-ask kung dalawa
Sige.
talaga.
Oo.
Ano pa pong concerns niyo?
Yun lang naman. Medyo nakakalito lang yung nalito lang ako ng konti. Same din pala kay Engineer Jude Rosales. Kung ano lang ba, she's taking her masters lang ba or does she have work at the moment? Yung paki-ask na lang din.
Okay. Sige, ask ko na lang din po.
Yun lang.
Tapos pwede din ba namin malaman kung, hindi, ito naman na din yun, pwede na, magsasabi naman kayo kung patapos na yung video. Kasi hindi namin napanood yung dalawa, yung ETYCB at